welcome to The Explainer. So today, we are exploring a concept that is literally going to flip your entire understanding of hardship completely upside down. We're talking about moving the immovable. I want you to just imagine for a second, waking up every single day to face an obstacle that you are destined to never, ever overcome. What do? Do you just give up, or do you keep pushing? Let's get right into it. Okay, let's dive into this. Why on earth would we do something that is quite literally doomed to fail? I mean, our brains are hardwired for efficiency, right? When we face a completely unchangeable reality, our very first instinct is just to run away. We want to save our time, save our energy. But to really grasp today's topic, we need to completely shatter this deeply ingrained, results-only cognitive bias. To understand where that bias comes from, we really have to look at our cultural DNA. Society has this incredibly rigid definition of success. You know the drill. The rock absolutely must be moved, the mountain has to be summited, the accounts must be profitable. It's all about the bottom line. Under this strict outcome-driven logic, any action that doesn't immediately give you visible results is just labeled as totally futile or even foolish paranoia. We are absolutely terrified of doing useless work. So to break out of that obsession, let's look at a powerful core metaphor from our source text. Imagine you're given this crazy mission. Every single day, you must go outside and push this massive rock sitting right in front of your front door. And notice the absolute key detail here. It is completely unyielding. This isn't just some little pebble you can kick out of the way on your morning walk. It is a miniature mountain buried deep in the earth. And that is your daily reality. Let's really visualize this grueling process. You are putting everything you have into it, day in and day out. Your shoulders are pressed incredibly hard against this rough, jagged stone. Your legs are rooted deep in the dirt, just trying to get some traction. And your lungs are literally burning from the heavy, agonizing breathing. Weeks pass like this, then months. You repeat this brutal physical exertion every single day. And yet, the brutal reality remains. That rock has not moved a single inch. Faced with the absolute torture of zero progress, your psychological defenses are bound to just collapse. You scream, "Why am I doing this? This is entirely futile." And honestly, that roar perfectly captures the crushing, fatal frustration of this situation. When you pour all your blood, sweat, and tears into something and get absolutely zero external feedback, the urge to just throw in the towel isn't just strong, it is completely 100% understandable. But here's the thing. That unmoving rock isn't just some made-up story. It's actually sitting right there in our actual lives. It might be the fate or the background you were born into, maybe the inevitable and irreversible process of getting older, or even those ironclad, rigid social structures all around us. When we face these massive, stubborn realities, our genuine sense of despair completely mirrors that rock pusher's frustration. We feel stuck. And we feel this despair because we fall headfirst into a cognitive trap backed by the actual laws of physics. Think about it. In physics, if there is no displacement, the work done is exactly zero. It doesn't matter how much force you apply, zero displacement means zero work. And society often judges our lives by this exact same cold standard. If there's no external change to show for it, your effort is zero. It all amounts to nothing. Now, what's really interesting about this allegory is the sudden aha moment. Just as the pusher is being totally crushed by that giant zero and is about to quit completely, they do something small, but it's totally life-changing. They stop staring at the immovable rock, and they look down at their own body. It is a fundamental shift in perspective. You're moving from demanding outward results to suddenly looking inward. And what exactly do they see when they look down? The transformation is stunning. Sure, on the rock side, there is still zero displacement. Physics coldly dictates the work is zero. But on the human side, their arms are bulging with iron-like muscles, their legs are incredibly sturdy, and their chest is expanded with a massive, deepened lung capacity. The rock hasn't budged at all, but a profound, invisible displacement has occurred. The obstacle didn't change, but the human definitely did. And this right here reveals the absolute core truth of the story. Life rarely hands you the exact outcome you want. It's not just going to magically move the rock out of your way. Instead, life offers a hidden reward. It uses the massive resistance of that rock to forge the exact strength you are going to need for the future. You were so hyper-focused on the target that you didn't even realize the target was actively upgrading you. So, the crucial point here is understanding the stark difference between changing your environment and changing yourself. Changing the world is this highly complex system. It requires incredible luck, perfect timing, and countless external variables to all cooperate at once. Changing yourself, however, that is beautifully pure. It is entirely within your control. It only requires you to do one thing: maintain your resistance against the obstacle and never, ever slack off. And this brilliantly illustrates a concept from the author: resistance is the coach. Man, what a fantastic metaphor. Those unchangeable, painful realities in your life, they aren't there to destroy you. They actually act as your life's gravity training machines. Think about it. A coach isn't going to lift the heavy barbell for you. The coach's entire job is to provide the heavy weight that forces your muscles to grow. Following this logic leads us to a harsh but very real conclusion. Without that unmovable rock, without those overwhelming, frustrating dilemmas, your willpower and your physique would remain forever paralyzed. Today, a lot of people feel this sense of nihilism about the world, and they choose to just lie flat simply to avoid the sting of failure. But the real price of escaping? It's voluntarily giving up your time on that training machine, and that guarantees your inner strength is just going to wither away. Which brings us to the real philosophical payload of this explainer: self-shaping. True self-improvement is never, ever achieved while sipping coffee during smooth sailing. No way. It is forged inch by brutal inch in the mud, right in the agonizing struggle of doing the impossible. Every single ounce of effort you exert, even if it doesn't move the outside world a millimeter, is injecting steel straight into your soul. Because of this, we need to completely rebuild our value system around one simple, radical idea: the process is the purpose. The significance of pushing was never actually about the displacement of the stone. The physical work might be zero, sure, but the biological work, the psychological work, that is 100%. The true meaning is hidden right there in the uncontrollable trembling of your leg muscles as you give it everything you've got. So the next time you face that massive, immovable rock in your own life, do not feel a shred of shame or emptiness over your temporary lack of progress. Really, don't let its silence defeat you. Instead, you need to push even harder. You aren't just trying to move an obstacle anymore. You are using it as a fulcrum. That giant rock is the perfect leverage to pry out a brand new, significantly stronger version of yourself. As you continue this resistance, you are eventually going to reach this incredible moment of absolute clarity. You'll realize that you don't even need the rock to move anymore, because by fighting it day after day, you've become so strong and you stand so tall that the obstacle that used to block your entire view, it's now just a stepping stone. You possess the complete ability to just walk right around it or step directly over it. You've literally outgrown the obstacle itself. As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to stop and ask yourself, what is the seemingly immovable rock blocking your life right now? Is it a difficult relationship, maybe a stalled career? Instead of running away from it, try asking, how is this silent coach currently training me? What specific missing strength is it forcing me to develop? Take that thought with you into tomorrow and embrace your own invisible displacement. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.